Welcome along, and everybody, to the Red Card Radio news episode. We hope this is the one-stop shop, the one place you need to come for news in and relating to the English Premier League and any subsequent tangential competitions that English teams are involved in. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Still with us this week, Jimmy. He supports Liverpool, and then Sean rounds us out this week, still supporting Tottenham. Boys, hello. How are we doing? Long time no see.
Hanging in there.
Good. Glad to hear.
Pain is still here.
You're gonna have more pain tonight, Brad, because we're talking Champions League. If you didn't check out yesterday's episode, we reviewed match week 31 in the Premier League. Go back and watch that only after you finished watching this episode to completion. But definitely check out yesterday's episode if you haven't. Hit it with a subscribe, ring the sub notification bell so you never miss a release. If you're on one of the podcast sites, follow, 5-star, all those good things. Drop a comment down below so that we can chat about it next week. But this is the news. So what we got tonight, we got a comment from Will that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Champions League, the Europa League, not the Europa Conference League because that doesn't exist, and then the World Chess Championship. We've got a full slate for the news. It's interesting because next week it'll be real heavy because we'll have the end of the World Chess Championship hopefully, and F1's coming back next week. Because I know that you've gotten real big into F1 this season, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could. I just was thinking about this. I wonder if I can introduce a new segment.
Okay. Yeah, Sean, take some notes. We're interested.
All right, hold on. Yeah, let me grab a pen.
It's called the segment's called Jimmy Has a Bone to Pick.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Brought to you by Omaha Steaks.
I did tell Brittany that Jimmy is mad at us.
Sean gets me into Formula One, and then Jack is all in. By the way, it's pretty interesting. He asks me every weekend if there's a race, and I'm like,
oh man,
not today, buddy. And so I'm like, yeah, there should be one. I think there should be one this week, and I go check, and I'm like, April 30th. What's going on? And I'm like, Sean. I basically rely on Sean for all of my F1 information, and he did not warn me that there was this gap in all this. I was very disappointed.
The problem is that this would have been a two week situation, but the in between was going to be the China F1, China Grand Prix, whatever they call it. I don't know where they race it.
Shanghai, I think.
Is it the Shanghai Grand Prix or the Chinese Grand Prix?
In Shanghai.
They pulled that, so they just have a month off.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it got canceled it's been canceled because of COVID.
COVID outbreak. Yeah. So they would have had a week off. Chinese Grand Prix week off. Azerbaijan. So now that's just left 4 weeks of empty, and they never filled it.
Yeah, and it'd been nice if that would have been covered in like a news episode or something.
I know for a fact that Sean and I have talked about it. I don't know if we've talked about it on podcast or not.
That's true.
We did talk about it on the pod.
No, I watched it like this morning, the last week's news thing.
Well, Brad, yeah, what did we say last?
I think it was the week before.
What did we say on the podcast last week, Brad? Why don't you tell us?
Last week, I don't know. Last week was a great podcast, and it just doesn't come to me right now.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you listened to last week's podcast.
Sean is fibbing. Sean is fibbing. Look at that. Look at Sean.
I was there. What do you mean? I listened to it as it was happening.
Sean didn't listen to it. He's lying.
I listened to it as I talked into the mic. What do you mean?
You're lying. It's okay. But you didn't listen
to it afterwards, the podcast. I heard it.
You didn't. You didn't listen to it afterwards.
This is an enormous, a galaxy level L for you, Brad. Just move on.
How? How many here? How many of us listen regularly when we record?
Put your hand down.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I have it on my YouTube. I'm all in on Operation Trick Google.
Yeah, that's
true.
We
did talk about it. We did talk about it at the end of the last race. That was like a month until the next one.
I think it might have gotten mentioned in Sean's defense.
It was. I'm coming to Sean's defense.
I'll take all the blame.
It's gonna get pretty spicy though after when we come back to Baku, and it's just going to be bang, bang, bang there for a while every couple weeks. Gets
we're
exciting.
gonna have the isn't it the situation? There was some situation in the '80s that left. It's the guy that was mentoring Lewis Hamilton, right? The guy that just passed away.
We have no shot here, Sean.
Not a clue,
Okay.
Sean. I've been
There's
following Formula
there's a
One for about
there's
6 weeks.
Joe will
there's a
know. Joe will know.
there's a movie about him. He was mentoring Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. They hired him on, and I'm just blanking on his name. But wasn't it his teammate that wrecked him? That put him in the fire that burned.
Yeah.
Sean, we have no chance.
Yeah.
No
Sean,
shot.
I'm with you, Sean. Yeah, that sounds
But
familiar.
that seems like what we're heading towards with Sergio and Max is like if
Spicy.
Max can't get a better quality lap because he hasn't recently, and out of the two races, Sergio has started in for he had a penalty. Max had a penalty for one, but like
No, he didn't. Max had a failure. Had like a gearbox go out or something.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
so-
in
He was
and,
dominating
in
the
Saudi
and he
second
Arabia.
could
race. Yeah.
and he couldn't catch Sergio.
It was too far.
I mean, I think it'll be really interesting if those two, if one of those two takes the other one out at some point this season. Like that would get real spicy. Like if especially if Max is at fault for taking out Checo at some point, like that would be
Awesome.
that would be the kind of drama I would be looking forward to. The reports came out today that apparently Daniel Ricciardo is going to do some testing for Red Bull for next season. So it's possible that he could be back in the driver's seat if they move on from Checo.
Well, what's interesting about F1 is Sergio is notoriously hard to pass.
Especially on street courses.
Yeah, street courses is where he beats his bread and butter.
He has the widest car on the circuit. Like it is really hard to pass him. And Lewis found that out in Abu Dhabi last year. Like Sergio held him up for like 3 laps.
Yeah.
And then even when Lewis got passed, he passed him back and held him up again. And like it's just really hard to pass Sergio. So can Max do it? Who knows? Coming from behind.
I think it would be really, really exciting if Max took them both out in a
If
race.
if Sergio's playing defense against Max, that's the real one.
Yo, that would be so exciting.
Yeah.
All right. This is a soccer podcast. It's a football podcast, and we weren't supposed to talk about F1 tonight. Who brought up F1? Who brought it up?
We wanted Jack to be happy here. We wanted Jack to know why. So
Jack is maybe our most important listener. Next to, of course, Brad.
100%.
Yeah.
Wait.
Regular listener Brad.
that was the point. Okay. Comments. Will has a comment, and it's going to lead directly into our conversation about the Champions League. Okay, so I made a comment. We talked about. I was probably being flamboyant about the fact that I think Milan is going to finish in the final, but Will's response was, "I'm about as excited about a Milan team being in the Champions League final about as any of you would be with a Manchester United Liverpool semifinal." Though I think one caveat that we'll offer Will here is that he didn't know that Jimmy would be here when he made this comment, because obviously Jimmy would be very excited about being in the semifinal.
Yes.
Will continues. I'd be much more excited to see Napoli in there. A City or Madrid are going to be heavy favorites in the final. So 2 points from Will's thoughts here. Pour out one for Napoli. They're not going to be in the final because they have been eliminated by our boy Olivier Giroud and AC Milan. AC Milan, they drew 1-1 today. The final score in today's game was 1-1. Victor Osimhen had a goal in like the 93rd minute or something like that to draw the game tonight, or on Tuesday. not tonight when you guys are listening. But that tie ended 2-1 on aggregate. And then also in the Chelsea-Madrid match, Madrid wins 2-0 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and wins the tie on aggregate 4-0. So still has a chance for Madrid to be in the final.
I mean, the only thing that's wrong about that is it's not Giroud, it's the legend Divock Origi its team.
True, yes. Divock Origi did replace Olivier Giroud in that match and scored 0 goals, which is what his legend foretells.
Yeah.
Our group chat, Jimmy, and hopefully you'll have my back in this, but because you had my back originally to begin with. I texted those guys when Milan won today. I was like, I'm gonna get absolutely bleeping roasted when Milan win the UCL arena. And James was like, "Oh yeah, I'm letting loose. Oh yeah."
Exact quote was, "Oh yes, I'm cooking."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't think.
For you.
I also did not think an Italian team necessarily had a chance to win the Champions League. However,
I think they just
I didn't know
eliminated
Napoli was going to be so good this year. And I think I told James this a while back. I really honestly thought that Napoli going into the knockout rounds was going to win the Champions League. They were kind of my pick to go the whole way. And so I'm a little actually disappointed that they lost out to Milan. Like I don't have any. I mean I'm with kind of with Will though. I can't stand either Milan team, and I don't want to see either one of them in the semifinal. So Napoli, I also historically don't care too much for, but I will support them over the Milans.
Well, it's interesting because Milan beat Napoli 4-0 in Serie A a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And then they proceeded to, they drew today, but essentially they beat them 3 times in a row, for all intents and purposes. It's pretty impressive. I don't think that has much effect on the Serie A table. I'm pretty sure that Napoli is still heads and shoulders above.
They're like 20 points up.
Yeah, they're way ahead.
Now, if we were to give Juve their 15 points back, I don't think that even Juve would be close enough to catch them. So
I think it's still like an 8-point gap or something.
Something like that, I thought, yeah.
Hey, James.
What's up?
If a frog, you're talking about if we gave Juve back, if a frog had a glass ass, it'd only jump once.
That's true. Your granddaddy was right.
That's some old school red car radio right there.
Like we're just talking about ifs here.
Ifs
like,
and comes.
No, Juve lost those points because they deserved it.
I mean, they were paying people under the table. I'm not. That is actually true. So loyal listeners, friends of the podcast, random people who just clicked on this video on YouTube and you're still listening to it at this point. At time of recording, the Bayern Munich, Manchester City, and Inter Milan and Benfica matches have not yet played. But right now, Munich City is up 3-0 on aggregate over Bayern Munich. So a lot for Bayern Munich to play for in this match. Do we think that they can overturn this result?
No.
Sean?
And
yes.
You think they're getting 4 goals?
No.
Miracle Munich.
It's
already
3.
set up.
They get 3.
So Bayern Munich has been playing flat for several weeks now. They've been not taking care of chances really in the Bundesliga at all. They basically fire their manager for basically no reason, who is a very
Nagelsmann
good manager.
They fired him.
They hired Tuchel. Tuchel's a great coach, but he's not. I don't know that he's gonna There's nothing really to turn around with with Bayern. Dortmund's been on their heels or whatever the whole time, kind of back and forth. Dortmund's been the little bit hotter team, even though they're starting to falter. Bayern in league has not been playing that well. They just got eliminated from the Polka.
Freiburg.
I don't think they have it.
So they fired Nagelsmann, and the reason they gave was they thought the treble was in jeopardy. And then they hired Tuchel and proceed to lose the Pokal and are about to get knocked out of the Champions League.
Well, hold on.
I don't understand what the hell they're doing.
Hold on. Yes, they're going to get knocked out of the Champions League, but they're going to score 3 goals. The game's going to go to extra time. City's going to have to play 120 minutes, and there's going to be it's going to finish 11-12 on penalties for City. It's going to
This is
be
your
emotionally draining, physically
Physically
draining.
draining.
this is your dream, isn't it?
They're not going to leave Munich until 2:30 in the morning. Their plane's going to have engine troubles. They're going to have to land in Paris.
And then they're gonna play the backup 11 or backup 10, because homeboy will still be in net, and they'll still beat Arsenal.
Whoa. They don't play Arsenal yet. They have the FA Cup this weekend, okay?
Oh,
That's also going to go to extra time and penalties.
oh.
Okay? There's a plan here before next Wednesday.
Then the starters will be back and refreshed and ready to play on Wednesday.
We'll see. This Inter Benfica match, Inter is taking a 2-0 lead into that match as well. I think an all Milan semifinal is probably on the cards. I don't really see Benfica getting a result away at the San Siro. Though they certainly could. They certainly could.
Yeah,
Benfica is a strong squad.
But in the rundown, you must have this score backwards.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I didn't notice until we hit the record button and started talking about it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was thinking Benfica had a 2-goal lead heading into that.
I knew the results from those first legs, but you can see they're both backwards because I think I changed.
Fun.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So yeah, it doesn't matter. Fun fact. That was both. That was the first leg of this. Was the first loss of the entire Champions League tournament for Benfica and Bayern.
Interesting.
They had not lost. They had not lost a single.
Bayern has been cruising through the Champions League. They looked unbeatable in the group
So
stages.
Benfica in the group did not lose a game. Didn't lose in the quarters. Just chilling. Benfica were vibing until Inter, and same for, like, to his point. Yeah, same for Bayern. They were just cruising right along.
All right. So if we have a Madrid City and Inter AC Milan semifinals, just rapid fire. Who do you guys think? What do you think the final matchup is going to be?
Milan.
Okay, so we got Jimmy with AC Milan and Madrid. Brad, you got
same.
Sean?
Sean Stradamus is going AWOL. I am picking City Madrid. City pull it out. On the other side, what's it? It's Milan. It will be
It could be Benfica if you're going.
If you want to go at that, when you said you were going off the wall, I thought that you were going to say.
I thought you were going to.
I thought you were going to pick Benfica to win it.
Benfica could do it. They're crazy too.
Two goals is not insurmountable.
All right, so we're going to City Benfica final.
Okay.
With City finally getting finally getting City that Champions League final.
I really hope he doesn't get it.
I also.
Me too.
I'm taking City. I think it's gonna be City AC Milan in the final.
I just think that could be, but I just think given the semifinals or given the quarterfinals this year and seeing what the semifinals are, if Pep is gonna win a Champions League, it's this year.
You're saying that because all of the other half of the quarterfinal semifinal pair was softer.
If he can just get past Madrid, he's got it in the bag. And if he chokes in the final, then it's never gonna happen.
I don't think he can get past Madrid.
If he can just get past Madrid, that's hard.
Yes, that's the problem.
So we've played both. So we've played City twice, and we've played Madrid twice, and I think Madrid is the better team.
They're good, man.
They're so solid.
Yeah.
Cavaminga is a absolute monster, man.
And he's not even like in the top 3 most dangerous players, top 5 most dangerous players.
De Bruyne and Haaland are absolutely unbelievable. You remove Haaland from the City team, I don't think they have a chance in hell of beating Real Madrid. But I mean, in any game, you never know. But I mean, Haaland is
Vinicius, Benzema, Rodrigo, Modric, Valverde,
Vinny, and
Rodrigo.
You guys got this all wrong. You guys got this all wrong in the City Madrid semifinal. So what's going to happen is City's gonna go up 3-0 in the first leg, and then the return leg's gonna be in Madrid, and Madrid's gonna score 3 goals, and it's gonna go to extra time, and they're gonna play 120 minutes,
Well,
and then the match is gonna end 11-12 on penalties, and City is going to win, but they'll be emotionally and physically drained, and then when they leave Madrid at 2:30 in the morning, they're gonna have plane problems, and they're gonna have to land and spend the night in Paris. It's gonna be
Well,
crazy.
And y'all
Crazy.
still gonna lose the league.
Hey, you shut up, Brad.
if my ability to predict an NCAA basketball bracket is any indication of my ability to project this winner, it's going to be Inter and City in the final. So, yeah, I mean, you guys obviously know that, or maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's twice in the history of the NCAA tournament that has a 16 seed beat a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Twice in the history of that tournament have I picked that 1 seed to win the tournament.
Did you really?
Oh.
The first time was UVA, right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yep.
I think I may have also picked UVA to win because was that the year after they won it or the year before?
No,
they
this
won
is the year before they won it.
Yeah,
That
they were
seems-
really
to win
good that
both
year.
years.
Yeah,
I picked them
That
to win both
seems-
years.
James talking like he picked Virginia to win because they were really good, not because they were the closest school to him.
Brad does know my system, and that the closest team proximity to me is it goes to the Final Four and wins.
Since we're off the rails, we might as well. I helped Brittany with her work bracket, and all I gave her was information about the college and who coaches them and who's on them. I did not give her any opinion of who would be better.
She won.
She did. She got Miami in the Final Four
Because she likes Jim Larinaga.
because he coached. All I gave her was that he coached George Mason. She's from Northern Virginia. He coached George Mason when they went to the Final Four, and that's. She was like, "All right, we're gonna take." So she ended up with. She worked at Baylor. Shaka Smart was the coach of VCU when she went to VCU her freshman year. So she had Marquette, and then she had VCU, and then she had Miami.
So the reason why my proximity system exists is because of the George Mason Final Four run. Was that in 07 when they went that far, whenever it was. I think it was 07. That was the year that I picked them to win it because I'm also from right outside of Northern Virginia, or in Northern Virginia, right outside of DC, and Mason was in it, so I was like, I'm picking him. So that was the birth of the. I also picked the Ivy League school to go to the Final Four. You can see I'm very serious about NCAA basketball.
Super serious.
But all right, let's quickly turn our attention just to the Europa League. Just mention this Sevilla Manchester United result from last week. United up 2 goals, and
Manchester up 2 goals.
Yes, Manchester United up 2 goals. Manchester up 2 goals, and they just give it away. Absolutely give it away to Sevilla. Sevilla scored 2 late goals, and the game ends 2-2. I turned the game off when they went up 2-0. I was like, yeah, this is over. Which was
2 own goals. I love it.
Yo, the Harry Maguire one was absolutely phenomenal.
I love it.
Absolutely.
And now
phenomenal.
they're going to Sevilla. And
yeah, good luck in Seville, right? Like
they're not. I don't think United's getting out of this.
Is there a possibility for both of these teams to lose?
Only if you root for Bane. You have to root for Bane.
I can't stand either of these clubs with like
Really?
a fiery passion. I hate both of them.
Yeah, but you've got to really dislike one more than the other, right? Like leaps and bounds.
Obviously, I dislike Manchester the most, but I cannot stand Sevilla.
Okay, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but we're all Sevilla fans for this match.
I don't have huge beef with Sevilla personally. They've beat us up in the Champions League and the Europa League a couple times. So I don't have huge beef with them. But obviously I want them to beat Manchester United.
I'm hoping for a 0-0 draw, goes to extra time, then to penalties. They can't resolve it. Both teams have to forfeit, and they just let Sporting and UV go on to the next one.
Let's do it. I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Wait, Sean, who did you pick for Europa League on the sheets?
Tottenham.
Okay, so I'm still in this because you didn't put mine on there. Roma is down 1 goal, but playing at home.
Yes.
Roma's going through, and they'll take out. Hey, don't worry, Jimmy. Roma's going to take out whoever wins this game.
So Roma's on the other side of the Sevilla Manchester United. They're on that quarterfinal path, that semifinal
I think
path.
so. I don't know.
Quickly double check
on
that.
Google.
Quickly Google that for me while I am
Europa
filling
League.
about this Sporting Juventus result because we throw Juve in there because of Will, a loyal listener, friend of the podcast, one-time commenter. Maybe we'll see him on the contributor. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. One-time contributor. Maybe he'll be back on. Juve get the 1-0 victory against Sporting, avenging partially the defeat Arsenal suffered at the hands of Sporting. Hopefully they can complete that revenge for me and make it to the semifinal. Who they will play against whom, Brad? That was a lot of time.
I don't know. Wait, I don't know which team goes where. I'm confused here. I'm sorry. I think Roma Juventus, and then it's Leverkusen is on the other side with Union SG. Where is Union SG? Any guesses?
Germany.
Union Berlin, not Union SG.
Union St. Louis.
France.
Any guess, Jimmy?
I've never heard of them.
Belgium.
I was about to say Turkey, but I have no idea.
Belgium. I don't recognize any of these people.
I don't know. I'm all in for Juve. I mean, I've casually supported Juve for a long time. Not like Will by any means, but they've been my Italian team since basically I can remember.
Okay.
Roma's winning this whole thing. There's no other team to cheer
for. So it's going to be Juventus versus Sevilla, and then who are we taking in the other one? Leverkusen, Roma?
Probably.
All right, if that's the setup, well, you got Roma versus Juve?
Brad's the only one alive.
Yo, how wild would it be if there's 3 Italian teams in one in the Champions League, 2 it's a double Italian final, and
it's been like this with England recently.
That's some English level.
Who's eating the most crow in that situation?
England.
Sean.
Oh yeah.
Sean is getting dunked on.
We are
mercilessly.
Yes. We are coming for you, Sean.
Will, you're 100%
I'm
coming on the podcast.
I'm not eating crow.
Coming for you, Sean.
These
Sean,
these
you
plumbers.
have to dress as a farmer or plumber then?
Electrician. Milkman. Yeah, Will, if this is this is the case.
I come dressed as a day, like I have a day job every day.
That's true.
That I'm on this podcast.
Maybe
I do.
Maybe we can find it in the budget to buy him a Spurs kit this summer. What do you think, Brad?
That's a tight budget, but we can take a look.
The tight budget is 0. I've already looked at the books.
We got to talk to the CFO, see if there's some loans and some money under the table type things we can do.
Look at Daddy Boley moving some money around.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be money coming out of that pocket for a Spurs kit. All right.
Give him a t-shirt.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's talk about World Chess Championship. This has been an absolutely insane game. The matches that have taken place. I thought after game 2 and Nepo won game 2, I really, really thought that it was going to be just a landslide victory for Nepo.
Yeah.
But Ding has come back swinging in this thing. It's currently 4-3. Okay, loyal listeners, at the time of recording, it's 4-3. It might be 4-4 when you're listening. I'm not sure. It could be 5-3, 4.5 to 3.5. I'm not sure. But we've seen Game 7. Game 7 has played. We haven't yet seen Game 8. Game 8 is tomorrow for us in the past. Why did you look at me that way, Brett?
I was stifling.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, but this has been it's been back and forth.
I don't remember ever in the times I've watched it where there's been this many decisive games in a row.
Yeah. And
this many decisive games early. Because it's normally like draw, maybe up until game 7 and someone wins finally.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's been outstanding.
I think both the players have been significantly more willing to look for victories and be willing to take risks to get a victory rather than settle for a draw. We saw this in the last World Chess Championship between Magnus and Jan, that Magnus was just like, yeah, we're just gonna draw this out. And he was like, I don't like the position. Let's just draw it out. And they just drew until Nepo made mistakes, right?
Yep.
Like that was the way that like the previous championship played out essentially.
Which I mean, like for Magnus made the most sense because like Magnus and Blitz is like unstoppable. Magnus in normal chess is unstoppable. Magnus and Blitz is like S tier.
He's the current world chess championship in Blitz and Rapid.
Yes.
So he did hold the triumvirate for a while there, but I guess he's abdicated the classical format. But like, yeah, to your point, like these players, both Jan and Ding Laren, have been so willing to go for victories and to not settle for draws. It's been really refreshing.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Have any of you actually seen Magnus recently?
No, did he get fat?
No, he's grown his hair out, tied it up in a bun, and he looks almost exactly like Gareth Bale. There's been all kinds of comparisons to him.
Maybe he's
It's very interesting.
I know he's a big Real Madrid fan, so
Yeah,
it's possible he's just like vibing in Madrid right now.
Yeah, no, it's been a great tournament. It's been really exciting. The only downside is the fact that basically when I get up and get situated and get through like morning meetings and stuff like that, it's already over, or it's in the post game press conference. So I got to try to click on like the live stream and go back to the beginning just to listen to it.
Yeah.
I've got to like mute everything and try to avoid spoilers and stuff like that. But
what you should do when you get up in the morning, you should have Jack pull up the stream because I assume you're in your go to your office, get Jack to pull up the stream and then just pause it and like rewind it to the beginning and pause it for you.
Yeah, so that's usually my wife's job.
Yeah.
But she's like, she'll be like, I'll do that for Liverpool, but chess. I've just spent the last hour of the morning while you've been still sleeping, getting the kids ready for school.
Oh yeah.
Get them out to the bus.
Oh, so it's one of those situations.
Yeah.
I certainly do not do that. Yeah, definitely don't do that. I think this. I'm a little worried for Ding at this point after Game 7 because of the mistake he made, or like just the. I guess maybe my more concern for Ding at this point has been his time management. If you're not familiar with the time constraints, you start the game with 2 hours on your clock, and at move 40 you get an additional hour, and then at move 60 that's when you begin to get increment after every move. And in the past few matches, in the past few games, Ding has been significantly lower than Jan has been on time. And Ding has been spending significantly more time thinking about moves before he makes moves. And so if I was going to point to anything that concerns me as a 800 rated chess player on chess.com, it would be that Ding is maybe not as well equipped to manage the time as Jan has been, because Jan's been here before. Nepo was here last time, and so I think that experience has probably been very useful for him.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. The only thing is that Nepo did the same thing to Magnus. Nepo generally had massive time control over Magnus, and just Magnus weathered the storm until Nepo blundered.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of.
I mean, that's always been, I think,
up.
maybe that's been our thought about Nepo over the last 2 years, 2.5 years or so. Is like, yeah, he plays quickly, and it's just a matter of time before he blunders. So like, just right, like that's I guess his MO now.
That's the criticism. Like it's pretty apparent that Nepo is excellent in his prep in the opening, but when it comes to actually getting into like playing chess and making good decisions and getting in good positions, he's just not as good at that part of the game as Ding or Magnus. Now, Ding had his first real whoopsie in Game 7.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can get that out of his head and whatever. It would be great if tomorrow was a rest day, but it's not. He's got to go right back in. So we'll see. I mean, we thought again after Game 2, whatever.
Yeah.
I think we both kind of had that feeling now, but shoot, Ding could come and win it in 35 moves tomorrow. Who knows?
That would be so wild. And it, honestly, with the track that we've been on, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Is he's just going to pull something out of nowhere and just
Yeah, I think this
steamroll
is.
Jan.
I think this has been great for the. I like Magnus a lot. He's a great player, but him stepping down to allow this matchup, I think has been is like the greatest gift currently he could have given to chess. It's just been fantastic.
So, Brad, you mentioned before we started that you have trivia. Is that still the case? That's still the
I
case.
do.
We don't want
I
to
do.
deprive Jimmy of trivia because he and Joel are our biggest trivia participants.
Got a lot of pressure here.
Do I? So I have 3 nationalities here to pick from. I have two. I have an Italian, and I have a German. Which one shall we do?
Do you have 2 Italians and a German, or 1 Italian and 2 Germans?
I have 1 Italian, 1 German, and 1 Spanish.
Okay, so the way you do this is you whichever is your favorite nationality to get their food. Pick that manager.
Oh, all right. We're doing Italian then. That's quick
All
and
that
easy.
coming.
Yeah, so
All right.
did I.
All right. Are you guys ready?
So time out. This is an Italian manager or a manager that manages in Italy?
This is an Italian manager.
Okay.
So he has managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure I count right. 7 clubs and countries.
So 14 total.
No, 7 total.
7 total. Okay.
Roberto Mancini. You have 7 here. Since Jimmy is our guest, Jimmy, I'll give you a couple of seconds, and then we need your bid on how many teams of Roberto Mancini's can you guess. And a bonus point for anybody that can guess the English club he played for at the end of his career.
We played for City.
I can only think of 2.
All right, we got two from Jimmy.
I can
Sean.
I can get 3.
Okay, 3.
Yeah,
And you got 1, Sean. Okay.
I don't like. I
Jimmy,
don't
can
like
you
this.
beat 3? Huh?
I'm thinking. So I have some guesses.
Okay,
I
if
don't.
you want to go for it, you can.
I don't
Sure.
like this trivia format, so I'm just rejecting it. With just I got one.
How do you not like this format?
He managed 1 team in my mind, and I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I only know 2. I only know 2 for sure. I have a guess for number 3.
All right.
What's your guess for 3?
Roma.
What are your 2?
He coached at City, and he's the current manager, or was the current manager in Italy for Italy's national team.
He is the current manager for Italy. Yep. You're good there with those 2. James, you got a 3rd?
You're missing Inter. I know he managed Inter.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't think he was at Milan. I couldn't remember him ever being there. But again, I don't watch enough Italian soccer.
He was at Inter twice.
Does that count as 2 teams? So do I really have 4?
No.
Sometimes you do that. Sometimes you do that.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But this time I didn't.
The only other one I thought about, which I don't think is right at all, was Real Sociedad or whatever it is. For some reason,
Ooh, did he manage in Spain? He might have.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he managed in Italy, England, Turkey, Russia, Italy. Like the Italian national team.
CSKA Moscow.
The Russian national team.
No.
A Premier League podcast is going to be able to pull this.
Zenit, St. Petersburg.
Okay, yeah, good luck.
Inter Milan, Galatasaray.
That's right.
That's the one I was. That's the other
City,
one I'm trying to think of.
Then Inter. I'm going in reverse. Sorry, from most recent to the end. Inter, Lazio, Fiorentina, and the club that made him fall in love with the English game. He had 5 appearances for Leicester City when he was on loan from Lazio, which he went on a leave of absence and then took over the Fiorentina coaching job.
You know, I knew there were more Italian teams in there. I couldn't. I was thinking Udinese for some reason. For some reason, Lazio and Fiorentina just didn't come to me.
No, that I didn't even think about those. Didn't even consider them.
He probably should have.
I will. My trivia is a little bit. Since we were talking about Italian football, I decided, why don't we talk about Italian football?
Okay.
So this question is: can you name the top 5 top scorers in Serie A, and I have removed everyone that that started playing before 1990. Like, we're not talking about the 50s Warriors.
What,
So
what are you
before
trying to do?
There's a handful of them.
He's saying in the Premier League era, which is like essentially 1992 on, so like
E-
1990
exactly.
onwards.
Okay.
Exactly.
Can you name
Like,
the 5
in
top
recent memory,
We did this.
Silvio Piola is the most prolific goal scorer in Serie A. He played from 1929 to 1954. We're not counting that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
played with an actual sheep's head at that point.
We did this.
It did be. All
We
right, then
have-
who is it, Brad?
Oh no, wait. We did it by club. Sorry, we did it by club. We did Juventus, and we did a
No,
couple
this
of
is
clubs.
players. This is players that have actually kicked the
I
ball
know,
into
we
a
did
net.
players for clubs. Because remember
Okay.
we forgot Ronaldo, James.
Yeah.
he's not going to be one of the top 5 goal scorers in Italy since the 1990s.
Nope.
No.
The first one is obvious.
I don't know if it's obvious. At least
Okay.
not to me. I'm trying to think of people right
Okay.
now.
And then 2 and 3 should be obvious to Will. 4
trying to remember every guy's name.
4 currently plays. And then 5 is a tie, but I'm gonna go with the most famous name out of that one. There's a 3-way tie for 5th.
There is a guy that I am picturing his face, but I cannot remember his name.
Okay.
Describe his face.
What team did he play for?
Kind of longer hair. I think he played for Inter.
Longer hair?
Yeah.
Does his name start with Zlatan and end with
No.
Ibrahimovic?
No.
No, but he's one of them.
All right, so the 3 that I have written down are
Okay.
I have 3. Does
I
anyone
have
have
3 written down. I have 3 written down as well.
Okay.
Brad, how many do you have written down?
I have Zoltan.
Zoltan.
Okay.
Okay. Zoltan.
Zoltan is no. He is 21st.
Okay. So that was one of my 3. Zlatan.
That was not one of my. That was not one of my.
So
3.
I have Alessandro Del Piero.
Del Piero is the tied for 5th. So that's the one. That's the one I picked to give to you guys.
And then I have Totti.
Yes, he is the number 1.
Yes.
All right.
That is the number 1.
That was the one. That's one of the ones I have.
Okay.
What's he got, Jimmy?
Fat Ronaldo.
It was CR9.
No, that's a good guess though. That is a good guess.
He only played for Milan for a few years, I thought.
Oh no, I was thinking of Maradona.
No.
Maradona.
He's thinking CR9, Fat Ronaldo.
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
no.
I was like, he scored quite a bit over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was there long enough to get.
Yeah, not long enough.
No.
The thing is, Italians play in this Serie A for their entire life.
Yeah.
Like they never.
So the other one I have, which I think is on the list, is Roberto Baggio.
Yes. You got. I can't do this.
Well, hold on.
You got this.
Baggio, like, does he fit in the category? Because didn't he start before the 90s?
Oh no, he's right. He started at 85.
So I wasn't sure.
Actually, I need to read.
Take his clothes off.
I was eliminating Baggio because of that part, but because I remember he was
But he was like big in he was big in '94, so I couldn't remember exactly where he was in his career because I was like, I think he started right around 1990 and then played for a while.
I think he retired in the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe
you guys are never gonna get the next one.
All right, just give him to us.
All right. So the ones you aren't gonna get are Gabriel Bautista. You're not gonna get that. He's Argentinian. You got Del Piero. The one that is active that you should have gotten is Sierra Mobley.
Didn't even
I was trying to remember Immobile's name, but I couldn't remember it.
No, I didn't even consider it.
And then the second place. So I included Baggio. I didn't pay it. Because I recognized the name. I didn't pay attention to the start date. And then the one you should have got was Antonio Di Natale.
Oh, Di Natale.
Oh, is that the guy? Let me look up a picture of him.
That might be him.
I thought you were talking about Totti, Jimmy.
No. Well, I'll tell you if that's him. How do you spell it? Antonio what?
Natale. It should be
DI space NATALE.
No, not the guy I was thinking of.
all right. That was I liked both those trivias. I liked both those trivias. Yeah, let us hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you got, how you guys did. I hope we forgot to tell you to pause the video. I hope you paused the video and did the trivia for yourself. Hit us up on Twitter at KSBradG, at Team Dugan, at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany, collectively at RedCard_Radio, or hit us up on Discord. It's in the description of this video. Check back tomorrow. We've got a preview of match week 32 in the Premier League. Should be a good one. Take care.